Hey, what's up, you guys? Matt Thibeau here with Savant Marketing Agency. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through our discovery call script that we give to our clients and help them be able to book appointments from the leads that we send them easier, be able to qualify people faster, be able to speed up the sales process, be able to spot any red flags, and basically be able to gather all the information you need so that when you show up to the estimate, you're not going in blind and you're not getting any kind of crazy price resistance or any curveballs or anything that you weren't expecting. And so this script is designed for when you do get a lead come in from our marketing, then you use this script to call the person, you go through all these questions, you gather all the information you can, you book the appointment, and then from there, hopefully you can close the deal on the estimate. So without further ado, let me jump right into things here. So the context is that a lead has come in, maybe through Facebook or Google Ads or whatever, maybe even a referral, and you're calling them to be able to gather information and get an idea of what they want and what they're looking for, et cetera. So you have an idea of what it will cost and all that. It's important to remember that you're probably doing a little bit of this stuff already, but what this is going to do is really bring it to that next level. Because if you want to get better at sales, if you want to start growing your business, it comes down to the nuances. The nuances are very important, especially with sales. And so this script is going to give you those nuances so that you can become a better sales professional and really grow your business. So let's jump right into things here. So the first thing is, hey, it's name from company. Is it a bad time to chat? The reason that we want to say like, hey, it's Matt from Savant Marketing Agency, is a bad time to chat right now when you pick up the phone and call them, is because we want to get them to actually say, yeah, like I can talk right now, and agree basically to talking with you. Because sometimes people don't ask for permission to start a conversation, and then the person's like, yeah, man, like, can we talk later? Right now I'm actually with my family or something. So you want to be able to get commitment from them and say, hey, do you have a couple minutes to chat right now? You want to talk? And then once they say, yeah, I can talk, it's like, cool, now we have permission to actually continue this conversation. The next thing that you're going to do is do rapport for a couple minutes. This is where basically you talk really lightly about just like holidays, weather, recent events, really quick, So just say like, hey, this is Matt Thibeau from Savant Marketing Agency, blah, blah, blah. Is it a bad time to chat? No, I can chat right now. Okay, cool. And then you just go into a little bit of chit chat right now, oh yeah, like how long have you been in Ottawa for? How long have you been in this city for? Okay, cool. Whereabouts do you live? Oh, awesome. Yeah, I used to live there. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, like the weather, just some kind of thing where really quick, doesn't even need to be 3 minutes. It could be even just a little bit less, but you just want to build some kind of like chit chat just to build a little bit more trust rather than jumping right into things about business. It's good to be able to build that rapport so that people will trust you more. And then you can jump into things. And what I like to do is ask the question like, hey, are we ready to jump into things here? Hey, is it cool if we talk a little bit about your project? Blah, blah, blah. The reason you want to do that is because when you ask this question, you are the one who is framing the call, right? Like you're the one who's in control and you're saying, hey, is it cool if we jump into things here? Because if the person says, yeah, I saw your ad on Facebook and yeah, I'm looking for a quote. So what kind of stuff do you like? Then they're the one asking you the question and they have the control. So this is called a framing phrase where basically like we're pre-framing the conversation and how it's going to go. And we're saying, hey, do you want to jump into things here and we can talk about your project? And it's going to be like a good position for you to start from because it'll be authority for you. So let's say they say, yeah, I'm ready to talk about that. Cool. So how are we hoping we can help you? So that's the first thing, is just a general like, if you were chatting with them through Messenger on Facebook, then you should say something like, how are you hoping that we could help you out? I saw in the messenger there that you were saying you're looking for a new fence. Tell me about that, right? So you get an idea of like what they're looking for. And as they say this stuff, you're writing this all down. You should have like a notepad or something with you. And then a lot of contractors will spend a lot of time here, but this is probably the least important one. And here's why, is because the scope of the project is going to change over time as they like need new things, or they realize they need new things, or they go further into the process of all this. And so don't spend too much time on the scope, but just get a general idea of what they're looking for. Okay, yeah, we're looking for a cedar fence and our backyard is this big and blah, blah, blah. Really quick, don't spend too much time here. A lot of contractors will spend too much time there. So you get a general idea of the scope. The next question that you should ask is how long you've been thinking about doing this project. So you could say something like, like how long you've been thinking about doing this project. Like, has it been like 1 month, 1 week, a year? And if they say like, oh, I've been thinking about this for a year compared to thinking about it for a week, that's very different, right? In terms of like their commitment level and how much they've educated themselves through that. And so you want that information because this will reveal to you how serious they are, how educated they are, where they're at in the process. We're going to ask that question as well later, but it's going to give you a much better idea of like where they're at in the buying cycle if they're ready to make a decision, right? Another question you can ask as well is, besides you and me, who else is involved in this project, or who else is managing this project? You know, are you doing it with a partner, like your wife or something like that, or blah, blah, blah. And you just want to get an idea of who is involved in this project, because if you're on the phone with the wife and you say, who else is involved here? And then she says, oh, my husband, he's getting some quotes too, and blah, blah, blah. Then you're going to want to get that person's name and like write that down as well. So if she says, oh, my husband, Bob, then like write down Bob's name. And then we're going to talk about why that's important later when you're booking them in, because then you get all the decision makers to show up for the estimate as well. So then you have an easier, easier chance of actually closing them. Next, the question you can ask is, have you ever worked with a contractor before? And what was that experience like? So this is a great question too, because it's going to reveal red flags. So if they say something like, oh, I've worked with a contractor before, it was a terrible experience, he did this and he did that, and it just sounds like they're, maybe a little bit difficult to work with or something like that. The second thing, though, as well, that it will do is it will reveal if they are a proven buyer of contracting services. So if they say, yeah, like 5 months ago, we just got our driveway repaved, and then we are also doing our kitchen right now, and so we're thinking about getting our fence done as well. Well, they just told you that they're a proven buyer of contracting services, that they've spent money on contracting, they're actively renovating their home. So this is a person we know then that spends money on contracting services, right? Whereas if they say something like, no, I actually haven't ever spent money on a contractor before, we've always kind of just done it ourselves because my uncle is a handy type of guy, but for this project, it seems like it's a little bit more work, so we thought we would hire someone. Like, that's a very different type of person than someone who is always investing in contracting services, right? So we want to be able to identify, hey, is this person like a proven buyer, or are they someone who is used to doing it themselves? Because the person who is a proven buyer already has an idea of like what things will generally cost. Like, they understand that this is not going to be like super cheap or something like that. Whereas the DIY person might be a little bit more sensitive to that, right? Where are you at in the process? Have you gotten other quotes, or am I the first one? This one's really good because you're literally just asking them for permission of like, hey, can you tell me if there's some other people who are competing with my quote right now? Like, that's basically what you're doing. And so if they say, yeah, like in the process right now, we've been thinking about doing this for a month and we got 2 other quotes and you're the third one and we're going to make a decision from there. Well, then you have an idea of like, okay, now I have an idea of, okay, they've got these other quotes, blah, blah, blah. Or they could say something like, well, we haven't gotten any quotes yet. You're the first one. So then you can say, perfect. Well, hey, maybe what you should do is get some of those other quotes, and then I can deliver the final quote to you. And then from there, you can make a better decision, right? Because it's maybe better to line up your quote with when they get their other quotes with the contractors, so that they don't get your quote and then like another guy can come in and then like start talking and then like maybe beat down your price or something like that. It's just going to give you a lot more clarity of where they're at in the process so that you can make better decisions for the sale. When were you hoping to get this project done? Is it a now thing or a later thing? This one is really important because if they say something like, yeah, we're hoping to get this done in like 5 months from now or something like that, then I would say giving them the quote now is probably not very useful, right? Like, if it's a couple months down the road, instead what I would do is say something like, well, hey, how about this? How about like, we've got some blog posts that are educational about like what this looks like. So how about what we do is I send you that over, you do a little bit more education and research, because it sounds like you're still in the research phase. so I can give you all that information. And then when you're ready, we can actually come by and do an estimate, and we can, present you with the numbers and all that when you're in a situation where you can make a better decision. Because you don't want to give someone a quote and then them sit on it for like 5 months, right? Like you want them to actually be able to make a decision when you deliver that quote. And so this will be helpful for you as well. So anyway, so you wrote all those things down. Hopefully you got some good information. And then after that, you say something like, well, hey, great. Based off of everything you said, we can definitely help you out. I mean, obviously, if you can't help them out, then don't say that. But if you can help them out, hey, based off of everything you said, we can definitely help you out. The next step is for us to book a time to visit your home and take a more in-depth look at things and give you a detailed quote. And this is where you basically will book them in. So you say, hey, I'm looking at my calendar. Does Tuesday or Wednesday at 1 p.m. work for you? And book them in. Get their address, get their email, get their phone number, everything you need on that call. Don't just say something like, yeah, we'll swing by like in the afternoon on a Tuesday or whatever. Like try and get a time actually put in there. And then, like I mentioned, you want to make sure that the decision makers are going to be there. So here you're going to say, yeah, so just to confirm, like Tuesday at 1 p.m., is Bob and you going to be there? Because I remember you mentioned that Bob was involved as well. So you want to be able to make sure that the person who's also the decision maker is going to be there, because obviously they're going to affect the decision, right? Also, what I don't think a lot of contractors do, which will help you greatly, is after the call, send them a text message thanking them. So say, hey, thanks a lot for your time. Looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday at 1 p.m. So again, you like reconfirm the time with them. And then an hour before the meeting, you can send them another text message and confirm that you're still on. Say something like, hey, we're going to swing by an hour. Just wanted to make sure that you're still good for us to come by and do that quote for you. That cool? Because a lot of contractors will literally just drive out without any confirmation, and then like the homeowner's not home or something like that. Like you need to confirm that. This is going to help you have higher show up rates and get people like be like, hey, he's serious, right? So that's it. This is a very simple discovery call script. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you want it, and I can send it to you for free. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to help you out. Other than that, I hope you have a great day and hope you found this helpful.